Good morning and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Saturday. It is December 7th. We commemorate the anniversary of Pearl Harbor on December 7th. And, we've got horse racing today. And, I just wanted to start out with, today would have been a day I would have been handicapping Oak Lawn Park. And, trying to find winners and give out nice tickets and pick 5 potential winners at a meet like Oak Lawn Park. But, it really troubles me that here in Chicagoland, we're not able to bet on Oak Lawn Park. There seems to be some dispute between Churchill Downs and Hawthorne, which, that precluded the opportunity to bet Churchill Downs this whole meeting, that they just finished, which I really didn't pay attention to. I wasn't betting Churchill Downs, so I didn't pay attention much to that. And then there was rumor that it would spill over to Oak Lawn Park because of some relationship that Oak Lawn has with Churchill. But, anyway, I went to my local OTB yesterday and found that we could not bet Oak Lawn Park, which is very disappointing. It's just disappointing with the horse racing industry that they always seem to shoot themselves in the foot for whatever reason, and the customer, the horse player, are the ones who hurt. Now, I don't know what business sense it makes when I go to an OTB and I see people who are sitting there and they're on their phones betting on ADW platforms and not putting cash through windows. Kind of defeats the purpose for what you're there for. Now, I don't blame these folks because they want to bet the tracks they want to bet. And, if Hawthorne and Churchill Downs can't, come to some agreement, then, these folks have to do what they have to do. Well, certainly this is not a knock on the folks that are betting on their phones. But I would guess that the businesses like Churchill Downs, like Hawthorne, like Oak Lawn, would want cash going through the windows because that's where they make their money. Now, I'm going to put up a number here for Oak Lawn Park that I hope you can read here. Oak Lawn Park. There's their phone number. You would dial that, 501-623-4411. Press 2 to get to the operator. Ask to talk with somebody in mutuals. Ask to talk with the general manager. Let them know you want to bet Oak Lawn Park in Chicago and you're betting cash through the windows. Why aren't they allowing that? Now, you can also call Hawthorne Racecourse because they might tell you it's their problem. So there's Hawthorne's phone number. Hawthorne Racecourse, 708-780-3700. Call that number. A live voice will answer. Get transferred to the general manager. Tell that person, where is Oak Lawn Park this winter? I want to bet Oak Lawn. I understand also this affects Turfway Park. Turfway Park's a very popular signal in the wintertime. And, folks here in Chicago like to bet Turfway Park. So ask them, why can't I bet Turfway? Ask them, do you want people on telephones betting on telephones instead of putting cash through windows? My guess is the answer would be no. So let's get enough calls, get enough traction to get people moving on something like this and solve this dispute. Okay, so that's enough on that topic. Let's get to some handicapping here for today. I'm going to make a couple bets over at Los Alamitos because thank goodness Los Alamitos doesn't have any disputes with anybody, and you could go into your local OTB in Chicagoland and bet Los Alamitos. So I've got a couple horses that I like. I want to bet to win. Then I'm also going to do a late pick 4. They don't do late pick 5s over at Los Al, but they do have the dollar pick 4, which it being a dollar increment ends up being a pretty good payoff when they have those there. All right, so let's move on to Los Al. Los Al's 4th race. This is a 6.5 furlong dirt race. This is for California fillies and mares, first level allowance horses, California allowance horses. And I've got a horse here in the 4th race I'm going to make a win bet on. That's the 5 horse who is Mirinda for Gary Mandela and Edwin Maldonado. Now, Mirinda's 5-2 in the program. Now, you hear in sports, whether it's football or basketball or whatnot, you hear like a get-right game. Okay, this would be a get-right game for the team, that they've been maybe on a losing streak or not playing well, and they find a game where it's a get-right game. I feel like this is the case here for Mirinda and for Gary Mandela. Now, Mirinda has started out her career last year at Del Mar. She was one of the best winners of the Del Mar meet last summer. She had broken her maiden in a special weight, broken it, big time with a big speed figure, and there was a lot of promise for that horse. She went on to run during Breeders' Cup weekend in Santa Anita over in 2023, was a big favorite in one of those Thoroughbred races and disappointed. And then the disappointment just continued. So She'd come out this year, run a couple races. Now, she's run okay. It's not like she's been running terribly, but hasn't gotten it done. But I just feel like, a guy like Gary Mandela, run your horses at Los Alamitos, Gary. You don't win a whole lot all year, and you don't seem to run too many there. Run them there. Get your stable right. Get your horses right. Get wins, and let's get things done. Now, Mirinda is a talented horse, and we'll see if this is a get right race for Mirinda. I do like the addition of Maldonado. Nothing against Mike Smith. I'm presuming Mike's not running at Los Al for this meeting, probably taking a break. But Maldonado will be a good fit here because Edwin gets a horse out, can get the horse up close, which is probably what Mirinda's going to need here. So I like Mirinda in the 4th race with a win bet. That's the 5. Okay, let's move over to the 6th race now at Los Al, and that's the start of the late pick 4, which I mentioned is a $1 increment. So that makes the pools, nicer and also can deliver a better payoff here. So the 6th race is a mile in the dirt, $50,000 California maiden claimers. Now these are 3 and up. And I've got 3 horses I'm going to put in. I'm going to put the 1 who is Mining District for Doug O'Neill. Edwin Maldonado takes the call again. Now, I like this horse. He ran last week. Ran at Del Mar and was in a maiden 20, open 20. Ended up coming second to a horse named Daddy Justify, who finally was able to break his maiden. That was a big purchase price, Daddy Justify. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was like a $300,000 purchase. That horse, couldn't live up to his expectations, but could, win in a 20,000 claimer. So Doug O'Neill brings his horse back a week later. I love the move. Not something you see too often, but, good trainers know how to do it, and Doug O'Neill's certainly a good trainer. This horse could be dangerous here at 7-2. I'm also going to put the 2 horse, who is the program favorite with his Majestic Palisades for Gene Pedersen. Armando Aguilar is on the horse. This horse had run 3 times in maiden special weights, had run some nice races, even ran a nice race over at Los Al back in September when they ran. Maybe they're just looking to find his friends here at 50,000. Certainly dangerous at 7-5. Then I'm going to also put the 3 horse, who was Artist Point for Jeff Bondy. Kyle Frey takes the call. Now, I have bet this horse previously. I have liked this horse, and I know I've talked about this horse on Fast Horses today. And this horse just seems to always run mid-pack. Had been running in these maiden 50,000 claimers, and just as I mentioned, kind of running mid-pack. Maybe the switch of tracks to Los Al, maybe running long, might be what this horse wants and could wake up. Kyle Frey. I mentioned the get right race. Kyle Frey wasn't riding all too well, I felt, in Del Mar. Maybe this is the get right meet for him to get himself back on board riding well at Los Al. I think the same could be said for Tyler Bays, and I understand Bays ended up winning a couple races yesterday. So good to hear about that. Bays needed to get right as well. So Artist Point, 5-1. So we're going to put the 1, 2, and 3 to start off this pick 4. All right, now let's move over to the next race of the day. Next race being the 7th race. This is a mile race on the dirt. They're all dirt races at Los Al. They don't run turf races there. They do not have a turf course. So this is a mile on the dirt. This is a California-bred non-winner of 1, so first level allowance. I feel like it's a very open race. I think maybe we can get a price in this race. I'm going to put 6 horses in this race here because I just feel it's open. I think so many have a chance they could win, and so many have reasons why they won't win. So I'm going to put the 1, Takes 3. I'm going to put the 2, Nauvoo. I'm going to put the 3, Jay Dutton. The 4, Michi's Express. The 5, Wind Ribbon, and the 6, We Can. So I'm going with the all but 1. I'm throwing out the 7. So if he wins, it won't be a good move by me. But I'm going to put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's move over to the next race of the day. This is the feature. This is the Starlet. It used to be called the Hollywood Starlet. It's a grade 2 now. It used to be a grade 1. These are fillies, 2-year-old fillies, mile and a 16th on the dirt here. And, when this race got moved over to Los Al after the closing of Hollywood Park, it really just kind of changed the complexion of the race. This always seems to be a Bob Baffert invitational type of race, since it moved over to Los Al. So, again, Baffert does have a few horses here, and I do like a Baffert horse, and I'm going to make this horse a single, and I'm going to bet this horse to win. So that's the 5 horse, who is Tenma for Bob Baffert. Juan Hernandez takes the call. Now, this horse has had three starts. Kazushi Kimura rode the horse 3 times. Now, Kimura's off the horse. Hernandez is on. I'm not exactly sure what that's about, but Hernandez wins a lot of races for Baffert, so we won't really put too much into what happened there. Hernandez riding for Baffert's a good thing. I see, they're making a couple changes. As I mentioned, they changed the jock, putting Hernandez on. They're taking blinkers off this girl. And, in looking at her film, how she ran in her career, this horse ran like a pro. I mean, she broke her maiden like an old pro, and that was her first time out. Ended up getting up by a head, but it was a really good race. Followed that up with another really nice race in the Grade 1 Del Mar Debutante at 7 furlongs. Another nice race. Got up by a nose. Ended up beating Vodka with a Twist and beating Nooney, who was in this race as well. So that's a Grade 1 win. Always a good thing. Very hard to critique a Grade 1 win. So they ended up putting her in the Oakleaf, which was her first 2-turn test. They put blinkers on her, for some reason, and I felt like it made this horse a little too keen. She didn't break out great, and then she ended up kind of rushing up in that first turn, getting put in a little bit tight, which, you never want to do that when you're trying something for the first time, being first time at 2 turns, and then also, running in a big race in a Grade 2 Oakleaf. So, I thought she still ran very respectively, ended up coming third that race, and, I'm going to throw that race out. Looks like, they're taking the blinkers off her again, putting her back in 4-1 on this horse. I feel like Tenma's going to put together a really good effort and win this race at probably a good price. So I'm going to make a win bet on Tenma, and I'm going to single her here in the pick 5. All right, now let's go to the last race of the day. Last race of the day is the 9th race, 5.5 furlong dirt race. Now this is a non-winner of 2 in a lifetime, 62.50 claimers, and I'm going to put 2 horses in this race here. I'm going to put the 5, who is the big Chizola. That's the favorite, Tyler Bays, Steve Knapp. As I mentioned, I understand Bays did win 2 races yesterday, so looks like maybe this will be a get-right meet for Tyler Bays. And, also Steve Knapp. Steve Knapp, I think, was a little bit cold over at Del Mar, too. So, maybe he'll win some races here as well. So this horse had been knocking around in Southern California condition claiming, category. So this is a little lower than what he's been running. So, it should be a kind of thing where the drop in class can make this horse faster at 7-5. Then I'm going to also put the 7 horse, who is Candy's Wildcat, for Bob Hess. Maldonado takes the call. Now this horse is a new addition to Bob Hess' barn. This horse had been running Bob Hess had this horse, and then the horse ended up going to Miguel Ramirez. Ramirez trained this horse for his win, which was over at Pleasanton. They sent this horse up north, and Ramirez trained the horse. We'll see if it's the light bulb angle for Candy's Wildcat coming off a win over at Pleasanton, coming back down to Southern California, running with claimers here at Los Al. So we've got the 5 and the 7. All right, now let's recap the day and recap the tickets. Okay, so today we've got some picks over at Los Al with a couple win bets and a late pick 4. So in Los Al, in the 4th race, I'm going to bet the 5 horse. That would be Marinda. All right, now let's move over to the 6th race for the pick 4. I've got 1, 2, 3 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With the single of the 5, that's Tenma, and a win bet on Tenma. That's in the Hollywood Starlet with the 5-7. Now that's a $36 play for the pick 4. As always, if you see fit, play as is. You can add or subtract. You can play the pick 3s within it, or just make the win bets. That would be in the 4th race to 5 and the 8th race to 5. Whatever you decide to do, I wish you the best of luck. Let's get the best of trips, because trips are also important at Los Al. Let's wish the folks over at Los Al a great, safe day of racing. So as always, I wish you the best of luck. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button if you can. It doesn't cost you anything, just puts you on the feed when new content is created. It gets served up to you and gets into your feed. Like, dislike, make some comments. Let's create a discussion. I would appreciate if you did reach out to either Oaklawn or to Hawthorne, ask them about why we can't see Oaklawn racing this winter, and let's hope that gets solved. But as always, thanks so much for watching Fast Horses Today. And let's make it a great day today and horse racing on December 8th. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.